Stronger than expected U.S. economic data has helped to pressure gold prices this Wednesday. We have Todd Bubba Horwitz joining us today. Good to see you again, Bubba.
Great to be here, Danielle. I always look forward to it.
So let's pull up that gold chart for Wednesday. Now, I know you said that it seems the commodities are trading in a coma here, but it seems they're awake, just not headed the right direction here.
You know what, Danielle, when you look at gold overall, we can see that it's kind of hovering down here between 1070, 1085. It really looks like it doesn't want to go anywhere. If it was a heart patient, they would call it dead. It's really just flatlining along the base here. Now, what makes me like gold here is that, first of all, I think it's been well overdone to the downside. The strength of the U.S. dollar, and we've had every bit of news that should have driven the prices lower. I think as they say, the boat is way crowded on the short side of the trade here, and I think at worst we get a dead cat bounce. Now, I don't think we're going to have a runaway to the upside where we're going, back to 1300 tomorrow, but I could certainly see a bounce from the 1080 level up to 1120, 1130, and I think we'll try to trade that range. I find it difficult to believe that we're going to go much lower than 1070. So I think from a risk-reward standpoint, it's a great trade. And if you're looking to buy some gold, I think this is a great spot to buy a little bit of the hard asset to put in your vault.
Okay, so on that note, let me ask you, Bubba, I had one analyst on yesterday who said Friday's jobs numbers will be extremely important, and should we fall below 200K, we could actually see gold hold 1100 and possibly rally to 1300. So do you agree with that?
I do not agree with that at all. I think one thing has nothing to do with the other. The jobs number, I can almost bet you, based on seeing ADP's numbers, that we'll be below. But it doesn't matter. Every market in the world is being driven by the central banks and the Federal Reserve, and they're all being manipulated. The numbers mean absolutely nothing right now. They have no value because anytime something changes, the Fed, in our case, will change their story. All you have to do is look at what the central banks are doing. They're manipulating their currency to make everything okay. We know that it's not okay. We know that the chances arise, but the actual print of the number is absolutely meaningless to the price of gold. Now, I do think gold has a chance to rally. I think 1100 is a no-brainer. I think 1300 is a bit of a stretch from here because since we haven't been over 1100 for the last couple of weeks, I think that 1120, 1130, maybe 1150, but really the number itself from the jobs number on Friday means nothing to actually the gold itself.
Okay, Bubba, so as the gold and silver ranges here continue to tighten, are they going to break out one way or another, and which direction is more likely here?
Well, they are definitely going to break out, just like the U.S. equity market is going to break out. That's been the tightest range for 115 years. I think they're going to break out to the upside. Now, they could break to the downside because obviously we've got a low in place that they may want to test around 1040 and maybe that $1,000 level. But I really believe that with all the news that we've seen built into the market, with everything that we've seen, every reason that we should already be below 1,000, the trade is crowded short. I think the breakout comes to the upside, and I look for us to be on an upward trend starting here very shortly. Once we can break out, I think we break out to the upside. I think the trend starts to go back to the upside, not quickly, and don't panic. It's not going to happen tomorrow. It's going to go up step by step as it came down, but I'd like to see it build an upward trend, and I think that's where we're headed.
All right, Bubba, just to wrap, you mentioned it at the start. Are you sticking to it? It's a buying opportunity for gold now?
I think so, yeah, absolutely. I would not be a seller. I would definitely be a buyer. Now, I'm a much happier buyer of the hard asset right now. I would take, if I were going to buy X amount of dollars, I would take 20% of those dollars and buy it now and see what happens. But certainly even in the paper gold, I would definitely be a buyer here looking for some movement going up to the upside.
Okay, well, if you can find those coins, because there's a shortage, right?
That's right. It's very hard to find physical because India and China has been buying them up in the back room.
All right, thanks so much for joining us, Todd.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
And thanks for watching this edition of Kitco News. We'll see you next week.